What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 18 of 10th Inning Screwballs. I'm Dante Esposito.
And I'm Sevi Esposito. Dante, number 18. 4 major sports. Pick me an 18. Who do you got?
I'll give you Jay Jettis, Justin Jefferson, who's on your fantasy team.
He's on my fantasy team.
You're a known fantasy footballer now.
He's on my fantasy team. He's the only one doing well. He's the only one not injured. It's ridiculous. Everybody I picked. It started the first pick. The McCaffrey, boom, he's in Switzerland getting blood transfusions. 18. So, and what did you call him? What was your
Jettis?
name? Who?
Jettis.
Jettis. They call him Jettis?
Yeah.
Can anybody be called by a name anymore? Oh my God. This. Okay, D. Let's see. 18. So I was tempted because as you could tell, I'm all World Series up here to go baseball. And I came with Darryl Strawberry, who's who I would have gone with. Darryl Strawberry, guy will forever be a Met first, okay? Even though he was on 4 championship teams 3 times with the Yankees, once with the Mets, the 86 Mets. But he came up with the Mets, started the Mets. And answer to a great trivia question, only 2 guys ever played for the 4 franchises that started in New York, the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Giants. And only 2 guys ever played for all 4, Jose Vizcaino and Darryl Strawberry. Both of them played for the California teams once they already moved from New York. But the greatest 18 of all time is Peyton Manning. Hands down, without a doubt. Now, to talk about how great he is doesn't do it enough justice. I got to rattle off some of these statistics, okay? He won 2 Super Bowls, one with the Colts and one with the Broncos, all right? Despite serious neck surgeries throughout the whole time. Now, you want to talk about the GOAT, who won the most Super Bowls, of course, it was Brady. But here's some things about Peyton Manning that could make you think that this may have been your GOAT, all right? Pro Bowl, 14 times. Associated Press NFL Most Valuable Player, 5 times. Associated Press First Team All-Pro Quarterback 7 times. Selected to the NFL's All-Decade Team of the 2000s, okay? How about the mosts, all right? Most MVP awards. Most Quarterback First Team All-Pro selections. Most 4,000-yard seasons passing. Most single-season passing yards. Most single-season passing touchdowns. People don't realize the most. How about we go back further? College. All right. He holds 33 school records, 7 SEC records, 2 NCAA passing records, and by far the most prolific offensive player in the history of the Tennessee Volunteers. This is number 18 is Peyton Manning. What do we got today, man?
Well, I just have a question for you. Did you call him Peyton Manning or Peyton Manning?
It's a good commercial. It's a good commercial. And by the way, he has turned post-playing career into an art. He's really great. He's really great in everything he does. All right, what do we got today?
All right, so today we're going to talk about some news with Tua Tagovailoa. We're going to talk about our game of the week, but first we're going to start with baseball since you're all World Series out. Yankees, Dodgers, the original Subway Series.
Yeah.
Just one quick thing I want to say.
Okay.
For game 1, it cost over $1,000 just to park at Dodger Stadium. I'll let you have first crack at the World Series now. What do you got to say?
All right, first I want to correct you. I'm going to throw a flag. Okay, I'm going to contest what you said. The original Subway Series, Yankees-Giants. Okay, before the Boys of Summer, the Dodgers of the 50s ever got there. All right. Before we talk about the Dodgers and the Giants, the Dodgers and the Yankees, I want to just talk about the teams that didn't make it. All right. The Mets and the Guardians. Hats off to the Mets and the Guardians. Those teams were terrific. Okay. It kills me to say it about the Mets because, as we all know, I hate the Mets. Root against the Mets. Always have. Always will. Hate them. But what they did in the last month and a half was unbelievable baseball and had me had me watching, and I never watch a Met game. I watch baseball when the Yankees are playing, and I was watching. So I got to give him credit. The Guardians, anybody that says the Yankees had the easy path in doesn't know baseball. That team, best bullpen in baseball, which means something now because we don't have starting pitchers anymore. It's 4 innings, quality start. Okay, so it's all about the bullpens today, right? So when you have the best bullpen in baseball, that's a hell of a team. Those guys were young, they were scrappy, they were hungry. 4-1 felt like a 7-game series because every game was exciting. So hats off to both of those. On the other side of the coin, Met fans annoy me to no end. And I know they say Yankee fans are obnoxious, so we hate the Yankee fans. And we hate them, so everybody hates everybody. Fine. But they're like, it's just sour grapes. All I hear on sports radio and fans in the street of Mets talking about how desperately they're saying, well, we accomplished more, and that was all gravy for us. Let's see what you can do. Like to put the pressure on the Yankees. The fact of the matter is the Yankees got their World Series, okay, and they didn't. All right? And the reason it was not expected for the Mets to get there is because they just don't get there. All right? And that's why. Okay, so, yeah, we didn't expect you to get there because you never do. You just don't get there, okay? And that's that. All right? So I'm tired of it. And the comparisons get me sick. They look for like one thing they can compare, and they want to compare that. We have a better first baseman. It's stupid. We have a better ballpark, which they don't have a better ballpark. Okay? And I love when you push them on what makes it better. Well, we have a kids area. What kids there's a romper room. Or the best one I get. You ready for this? The City Field has better food. I don't go there for the food. When I'm hungry, I go to Patsy's on West 56th in Manhattan, or I go to Roberto's down the Arthur Avenue section, which we do before the Yankee games. Okay, that's what I do for food. I go to the ballpark for the game and for the park. Okay, we have better food. What stupidity! They say the field is a better field because they get better food. Annoys me, but so much for that. I don't want to get into it. It's ridiculous.
Well, you missed one thing.
What did I miss?
They have an apple.
Please. And they're gonna miss the Met. It's like a minor league game. Miss the Met. Now you gotta have Mrs. Met too, because you gotta be politically correct. Soon they're gonna have a transgender Met. It's gonna come along. They gotta cover everything. Get the hell out of here, Mr. Met. If I had a root for a team that's got a bobblehead walking around, forget about it. I want no part of that team. This thing here looks like Mr. Yeah, stupid. All right. With that said, yes, this is one of the great rivalries. Yankees against the Dodgers is one of the great rivalries. This will be the 12th time that they paired up against each other. Yankees winning 8 of the 11 previously. But they're only 2-2 since the Dodgers went to Los Angeles. So they rattled off a bunch when the Dodgers were in Brooklyn. Since in Los Angeles, the first time they met was the Sandy Koufax year in '63. They beat the Yankees pretty handily. So it's super exciting. I'm so stoked. Baseball is back in New York. It's just great stuff. You said that the parking prices in LA are ridiculous. The prices of the tickets in Yankee Stadium are ridiculous. Yeah. You and I went to an ALDS game, an ALCS game. Both times we sat in decent seats, seeing the whole field nicely for about $150 a seat. Okay, and now that same seat is over $2,000. It's stupid. So I'll watch it home. Watch it home. Bunch of friends coming over Friday night. We'll watch the game, and that's that. I am not. The Dodgers have a superior lineup to just about everybody. They bought whoever they could buy, and I don't blame them. That's part of the rules of the game, right? They snuck Ohtani in under the salary threshold with that crazy deferred payments. Ingenious. I'm jealous that we didn't do such things. So they got a great lineup, great players. Their defense is shoddy, and their pitching does not impress me at all. And if they win the World Series with shoddy defense and unimpressive pitching, God bless them. I don't see it happening. The Yankees right now are playing great defense, and their pitching has been really good. The bullpen's been terrific. Not because I'm a Yankee fan, but I got the Yankees in 6.
Yeah. So this is what the 2017 World Series should have been. Yankees Dodgers. Right? So You have Judge, you have Ohtani, you got MVPs, you got the two highest payrolls in the sport.
You got no trash can.
No trade, right? This is everything that baseball fans want to see. You may hate the Yankees and hate the Dodgers, but this is peak baseball. It doesn't get better than this. It just doesn't. And before the playoffs started, I said, Cleveland scares me and the Padres scare me. Why? Pitching. I said it then, I'll say it again. I believe that pitching wins championships. You said it. The Dodgers pitching, it's very unimpressive. Now, I was asked yesterday by somebody who doesn't really know baseball to a high degree, why were the Mets and Dodgers games so one-sided every single time? And why are the Yankees and Guardians so close? And it's because
The guy who didn't know baseball, was it a Met fan or Evan Deck?
it was Evan Deck. I wasn't going to name drop him, but sure.
Call him out.
So, and there's an easy explanation for this, but it's going to go a little bit deeper. The Mets, I would say, had a good rotation and a pretty good bullpen. The Dodgers didn't. The Dodgers lineup was far superior than the Mets lineup. And the Mets were playing Cinderella ball. And that can only take you so far. It really, that's all there is to it. So when the Mets rotation and pen is hot, it could kind of beat the Dodgers lineup. And then you could rattle runs off of shoddy pitching. So the Mets take those games. And when the superior lineup takes over, it's going to dominate that pitching. So it takes over those games. So it's very one-sided back and forth. You mentioned it. The 5-game series felt like a 7-game series with the Guardians. And that's because both pitching staffs were going up against each other. And the Guardians were scrappy, but the Yankees did have a better lineup. So it was always this back and forth bloodbath. And it was exciting. I mean, you needed 10 innings to beat the Guardians in Game 5. So that's why. So now you have more of a well-rounded Yankee team with a good lineup and good pitching against a great lineup and subpar pitching. I'll say it again. Pitching wins championships. Yanks in 6.
Also Yanks in 6.
Yeah.
Honest answer. 6 months ago, did you think the Yankees should fire Cashman and or Boone?
I don't think firing a manager does all that much in baseball like it does in football. You might laugh at this, but I still think they should have fired Cashman.
Okay, 6 months ago.
6 months ago today, yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. What's next?
Tua,
football.
Tua says he's not going to wear the Guardian cap because it's his choice. He's asked, what did he learn from this process and his experiences? He said, it's bad to get concussions. Getting concussions isn't good. Tua said he wants to play the game that he loves until he dies. He's got a boatload of concussions in the NFL. He's had 1 or 2 in college. The NFL claims that they're all about player safety, yet they're letting him go back. Are you really all about player safety? No, you're not. Because if you were, at bare minimum, I understand it's a personal choice, but at bare minimum, you got to make him wear this Guardian cap. You have to make something. First off, I agree with what you said a month ago or so, that they should give him an offer that he can't refuse. You don't let him go back on the field. And now, all that you could think about is if it happens again, what is going to happen with his life? You don't let Tua go out there. You don't. And you ban the hip drop tackle. You make the roughing the passer. You got to put a pillow down. You're all about these rules. And you're going to let Tua come back? It just doesn't make sense. Too much to lose. I hate it. I disagree with everything. And no Guardian cap, no this, no that. I mean, just throwing him back out there. No, it's just bad on football. Just bad.
So for the people out there that may be watching or listening to us that don't know what a guardian cap is, it basically is a cushioned exterior to a helmet, okay, to give it a little bit more protection, which can be then decorated to look like any other helmet. Only you can clearly see that it's different. It's the same color, it's got the same logo, but you can clearly see that
It's a little bit thicker. Yeah.
It looks bigger and thicker, and there are a couple of players that have chosen to wear them.
Yeah.
Okay, voluntarily. All right, so I'm really confused by this whole thing. I really am confused. You can't take a man's livelihood away from him. He's been symptom-free for weeks now, okay? The doctors, professional people, have cleared him, people that know better than you and I. They've cleared him to play. They would not have cleared him had he shown any concussive signs. There's no rule that says he has to wear that helmet, the Guardian cap, and you certainly are looking at a major lawsuit if you say we're taking away your livelihood, something where you would do to get $50 million a year or more, and they're suddenly taking it away. All right. So I understand all that, and that's what makes this confusing for me. All right. What I don't understand is, one, how are guardian caps just not mandatory? We'll start there. I'm not saying that that's going to prevent all these concussions. But obviously it would help if they're wearing them in practices when the hitting is less, okay, and the head crashing is less. How is it not mandatory? And I just keep going, we're big hockey fans, all right? But I'm old hockey fan. You're a young hockey fan. Old hockey fans, I grew up, played without a helmet, watched games, no pro wears a helmet, watched no goalie wearing a mask. Now, could we even imagine those things today? No. Okay, but then again, you look at the evolution of football. They used to wear leather helmets. What did that? They might as well put on a bonnet. All right. So what time? Then they put on helmets without a face mask. Then the face masks went from one single bar to more. So more and more sports have evolved to say we got to do whatever it is to protect these guys. How, if they have the technology of this padded helmet, how is it not mandatory when you've got situations like this happening, when there's bad press all the time about these players that after their retirements are dying and having crazy diseases and sicknesses because of the head injuries over years? So number one, I can't understand why that's not mandatory. Two, in Tua's case, the only thing worse than an accident causing permanent damage or your industry causing permanent damage is if you knew the risks and had it anyway. If you didn't see it coming, if you've never been injured, and then suddenly you get a spine injury, and you've seen it in football. Yep. These guys, okay, but they never had it before. That's horrible, but it was the risks of the game, okay? But when you've had these warnings, and it still happens, if this guy winds up a vegetable one day, God forbid, with all these warnings, it makes this situation, the choice he's making and the NFL allowing it, multiplied by 1,000,000. You can't take it away from him. I just wish the league and the Dolphins would be more proactive about convincing him not to. All right? And if that's pay him, give him an office job that pays him the same amount of money, do whatever the hell it takes, do something to get him off the field and protect himself. And they're not doing it. Unfortunately, the Dolphins not winning because he's not there is costing them money. And these money-hungry bastards that are the NFL and the NBA and the MLB, they'll worry about this guy's safety after the fact. They want to catch him today. And that's sad. That's sad. Dante, what else we've got?
Game of the week.
Can't miss NFL game of the week. Got to see it. What's yours?
While we're talking about Tua, I'm going to stay with the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Now, I know this doesn't look like a good team. Boy, a good game. Both teams are under 500, but the Cardinals defense just shut down the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Yeah. And the Dolphins offense has looked terrible. I mean, Tim Boyle has been their quarterback. And as a Jet fan, we know how bad Tim Boyle is. He played at UConn in college and was bad there too. I don't know how he even got into the NFL and how he still has an NFL job, but that's neither here or there. So, with the Dolphins' offense being so garbage since Tua left, now Tua might come back on Sunday. And if Tua comes back on Sunday, you got to think, got to wonder, are they going to start dropping 30, 35 points a game again? Is this going to be the high-flying, what do they call it, the best show on turf? Because Tua's back and he can connect with Tyreek. Or the Dolphins just simply not it this year. So these two teams got something to prove. I'm interested to see how the Dolphins' offense is. But on the Cardinals side of the ball, Kyler looked pretty good. Trey McBride looks good. They have the same record as the Niners. So this game has more implications than we might think just off of face value. It could be a very exciting one, or it could be an absolute dud. So that's my can't-miss game of the week.
I say two things about your game. Number one, you mentioned fantasy before.
Yeah.
Okay. Tyreek Hill is on my team.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill does nothing without Tua. So I'm screwed there. And who are one of my quarterbacks? Tua. Well, just screwed. Just screwed. And the other thing is you said the best show on turf. It's the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
Which is a play on the greatest show on earth, which was the circus,
Yes.
which there is no more circus.
Yes.
Because animal rights people said it's not right to keep the lion in the cage over there. So no more circus. Because the lion, who they were feeding filet mignon to, and I'm eating it out. All right? But but that's they're not treating him right. So no more circus. We can't have a clown. Actually, we have a million clowns. I'm looking at one of them now, but that's beside the point. Anyway. Okay, can't miss game of the week. Can't miss game. I was going to pick, I'm looking for two really good teams that, really can go at it. So I was thinking about the Jets and the Patriots. Okay? Wow, that is going to be the snoozer of all time. What a dud of a game. Oh, my God. Jesus. Horrible, horrible. But obviously I'm not picking that. All right. Eagles-Bengals. Okay? The Eagles are on a roll. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, why they're on a roll. And I'm going to compare them to the best team in football right now, which is the Ravens. The two most significant offseason moves were the Eagles picking up Saquon Barkley and the Ravens picking up Derrick Henry. Okay? Both showed that they had a renewed commitment to running games. All right? Those running backs, Saquon and Derrick Henry, the king, all right, improved their quarterbacks' passing options immensely because they can't be covered the same because they don't watch these runners. All right. Both help eat offensive minutes, keeping the defense off the field. Okay. It's changed those two teams. They've been transformed. And suddenly the Eagles have come to life that they're taking advantage of a running game. And the Ravens, with one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback around, in Lamar Jackson, now look unstoppable. So the Eagles, with their new style of play, are on a roll. The Bengals are starting to come out of their annual off-season hibernation because they start every year like they're still asleep for 3 or 4 games. They're starting to wake up, but they need a win. They're third in their division behind these amazing Ravens and the overachieving Steelers. So they really can't afford to lose. So that said, I picked Nick Sirianni's Eagles in my game of the week.
Interesting.
Yep. Dante, I think that's it.
It is.
All right. So that said, we come to that part of the show we call yesterday, today, before, and after. Dante talks about something that's on his mind that's happening now, and I talk about something that's on my mind that I'm kind of reminiscing about. Dante, what do you got?
This past weekend, DeShaun Watson tears his Achilles in Cleveland. And it's day after the Guardians lose to the Yankees. Soto hits his 3-run homer. And now the Cleveland fans are cheering because DeShaun Watson is hurt. Now I'm going to get to that in a minute. I just want to back up all the way back to the DeShaun Watson trade. Because I feel like I talk about this a lot, But I just want to reiterate what the Texans got for Deshaun Watson. So it was Deshaun Watson and a 6th-round pick going to Cleveland for 3 first-round picks, 2 fourths, 1 third. Now, the Texans had the 2nd overall pick, which they took Stroud. Then they traded up with the Cardinals for the 3rd overall pick to take Will Anderson Jr. And the trade package for that 3rd pick was used with some of the pieces from the DeShaun trade. Will Anderson Jr. goes on to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Stroud and Will Anderson take the Texans to the playoffs. Now, this trade was right after Deshaun Watson's sexual assault allegations with 24 different women. So, were Browns fans happy about this trade? Probably not. Definitely not. They gave up a boatload of picks for a perceived criminal. Let's just say it the way it is. So now let me tell you Deshaun Watson's stats with the Texans. 2017, almost a 62% completion percentage, 103 passer rating, 19 touchdowns. 2018, 68% completion percentage, 26 touchdowns, 103 passer rating. 2019, 67% completion percentage, 26 touchdowns, 98 passer rating. 2020, 70% completion percentage, 33 touchdowns, 112 passer rating. So, Deshaun Watson is going crazy in Houston, and now he's suspended for a year. And this is where the Browns come into play. So, what was his deal with the Browns? It's a $9 million signing bonus every season. In 2022, he's going to get $400,000. Almost nothing. It's the minimum. 2023, he's only going to get $1 million. 2024, $1.2 million. And now is when the fun begins. Because in 2025 and 2026, he gets $46 million a season. And this is fully guaranteed money. In football, not every contract is fully guaranteed. Almost no contracts are fully guaranteed. But this is $230 million fully guaranteed to Deshaun Watson. So there's a big question mark. Yes, he's great in Houston, but now there's a year off, and he's got all these allegations against him. But what's more important in football is not the base salary or the signing bonus. It's the cap hit. So let me run through these cap hits. 2022, it's $9 million a year. 23, it's $19 million. 24, it's $28 million. 2025 and 2026, $73 million a season. The current salary cap in football is $255.4 million a year. Next year, it's projected to be $272.5. Deshaun Watson's contract will almost be 27% of the entire team's cap is just going to him. That is insane. He has a full no-trade clause from 24 to 26. So the Browns, they're handcuffed. They can't do anything about it. So real quick, let me give you the highest cap hits in football. You have Kyler, who is at $49 million. Daniel Jones at $48 million. Stafford at $46 million. Dak at $43 million. And Mahomes at $37 million. Now, in a couple of years, Deshaun Watson will be at $73 million. So, it's not even close. Nobody's close to what Deshaun is. So, is Deshaun maybe playing like an elite player in Cleveland? No. Is he playing above average in Cleveland? No. Is he playing average in Cleveland? No. Is he even playing slightly below average? No. Because I just rattled off these 103, 98, 112 passer ratings. But when he goes to Cleveland, in 2022, his completion percentage is 58%. That's good for a 79 passer rating. And in 23, it's a 61% completion percentage, 84 passer rating, and 63% completion percentage in 23, 79 passer rating. Now, in the last 3 years, his touchdowns in 24, 5, 23, 7, 22, 7. So there's no 33 touchdowns, 26, 26, 19. No, it's 7, 7, and 5. You're not paying for the guy that you had, that you saw, because you didn't have him. You saw him in Houston. Now you're paying all this guaranteed money for an extremely below average, bad quarterback. So, now, are Browns fans happy when this trade happens? No. Are Browns fans happy that you get Deshaun Watson? Probably not. Now, you are paying for a lowlife. They all know this. All the fans know this. The fans didn't want the lowlife, but they get the lowlife. Nobody wanted him. This is all management's fault. And now he gets hurt. They never liked this man, and he gets hurt. And they're booing him every single day, every chance they get. He gets hurt. And they start cheering. This isn't the fans' fault. It's management's fault. Let's not act like the fans wanted him, because they didn't. And I'm not big on cheering on injuries. I don't do that. But let me just kind of spin this. If a criminal is committing a crime and he gets hurt, are you saying, oh, poor guy, he got hurt? Or are you saying, got what he deserved. He's a criminal and he got hurt. Yeah, that's how I feel about this. I'm not cheering that he's hurt, but kind of got what he deserved. No, Deshaun Watson, this isn't a head injury that's going to mess him up his whole life. It's an Achilles injury. He'll probably be fine in a year, year and a half. And his livelihood after football won't be ruined. So honestly, I see where these fans are coming from. It's not their fault that he's a Brown. Nobody wanted him. And honestly, I understand the Cleveland fans.
You're majoring in finance and statistics, right?
Yeah.
Good. Because you lost me.
Too many numbers?
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, okay, would I be wrong to translate that as saying this guy is a bad guy in the street? He came to the Browns for too much. Now he stinks, and the people there hate the fact that they gave away too much for a guy who stinks. Right?
I mean, if you want it to be boring about it, sure.
I don't want to be boring. I just want to understand it. All right, good. By the way, did you hear when they asked him right away if he wanted to go into surgery immediately? And he said, no, just give me a massage. There you go. It was October 18th, and that was a seal of the deal. The Dodgers are going to play the Yankees. And it reminded me of October 18th, 1977. Yankees are playing the Dodgers in Yankee Stadium, 6th game. Yankees need one more win to seal the deal. My friend, Larry Laconey, says to me, the ticket takers are all on the take there. Back then, there's no cell phones, there's no mobile, there's no clear to walk in fast or any of that kind of stuff. Okay, you had a ticket, a physical ticket. You walk up, he cuts it in half, rips it in half, hands you your half, you go to your seat. Larry says they're all on the take. Take a few dollars, roll it up. You take a $10 bill, roll it up, and make believe it's a ticket as you're walking in. Hand it to them. They know. They'll take it as if they thought it was a ticket and they'll let you right in. Let's do it. I said, but if they're not going to look at it, why am I rolling up 10? I'll roll up 2. They don't know the difference. Here we go to Yankee Stadium. We drive down to Yankee Stadium. Lines outside to get into the walk up on my thing. Ticket takes $2, puts it in his pocket. I'm in. I'm in to see the game. What happens that day? The controversial Reggie Jackson. Now, the year before, the Yankees got to the World Series for the first time in 20 years. The missing piece, they said, was Reggie Jackson. They got Reggie Jackson. It was a controversial year. He made statements that got a lot of the players there upset. But this was the night that he got the name Mr. October. On 3 straight pitches, he hit 3 home runs. The wildest thing I've ever seen in Yankee Stadium. Place erupts. Needless to say, they win the World Championship for the first time in many, many years. To be there and see that was unreal. Note, opening day the following year, I go to the game. First game in Yankee Stadium played since that game. Okay. They're giving, Reggie had once said, if I ever played in New York, they'd name a candy bar after me. saying because the baby Ruth was named after Babe Ruth, which it wasn't. It was not named, but Reggie thinks he knows everything, and he knows less than anything. But sure enough, they named the candy bar the Reggie Bar, and that day, going into Yankee Stadium, they handed everybody a candy bar, a Reggie candy bar. Well, wouldn't you know it, the first pitch he sees on opening day of the next game, puts it in the seats for a home run. 4 consecutive home runs. And what did the fans do? They all threw the candy bars on the field. Beautiful stuff, only in the Bronx. Let's do it again this year. Dante, I think that's it. Wrap it up.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Season 2, Episode 18, 10th Inning Screwballs. You know where to find us. Full episodes on YouTube and Spotify, short clips on TikTok and Instagram. And if you haven't already, join the chat page. It's growing by the day, and we'd love to hear what you guys got to say. And it's World Series time, so let's talk some baseball too. So from Dante Esposito
And Sevi Esposito.
Have a good week. Go Yanks.
Get your shine box. Ciao.